Hello everyone, today is a polish video, which is very exciting for me because this time around I am continuing on with my 2020 project, Polish Declutter. And the way I'm running this one, previously you can see on YouTube that people just dump all their polishes, they sort through them and keep some and get rid of some. And I like those videos a lot, but I've realized after doing a few of those kinds of declutters that method doesn't actually work for me. And what works for me is doing a kind of seasonal rack where I wear a bunch of polishes from that particular season, and then I decide based on color, texture, wearability, ease of application, wear, time. So I take all those categories in my mind and sort of decide whether the polish in general is worth it to keep and whether I like wearing it enough. Not just the color, but the whole thing, the whole shebang. Is it worth my time? Is it worth staying around? And what I do usually is I do this kind of a nail wheel. This was my winter nail wheel, and everything with a dot was decluttered. Everything without a dot was kept. And I continue doing that. Here is my winter to spring wheel. Here it is. Slightly different color scheme, I suppose. Not that different, but slightly different. More sort of light grays and stuff like that, and beiges, which is pretty much my color palette for winter to spring. And now I am on to my spring wheel. And so this is the one we're talking about today. Let's start at this end. Here we have this little guy, and this is Artisan stamping polish in Saffron. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it or not. In the end, it turns out I really don't want to use it. I wanted to stamp with it and see how it would go if I stamped with it. I don't do stamping, at least right now, and maybe somebody else can benefit from having it. It's just not one I wear. Also, it applies a bit dull, which is good for stamping polishes because it's very, very saturated with pigment, but not as good for just wearing a polish. Another one that unfortunately I'm getting rid of is this sort of pinky, purpley milk color. And this is the OPI nail lacquer in Care to Dance. My hope buying this particular polish was that it would be one of those sheer polishes that apply and you can kind of have this sheer nude nail application, which is what I love. I love those kinds of polishes, but those kinds of polishes prove elusive and hard to find because for a sheer sort of jelly-like polish of a lighter color, it is extremely important that it is very self-leveling and very, very even. So it needs to apply sheerly, but super evenly. This one does not apply all that evenly, and that is the problem because it requires 3 coats and then it dries for a while in between coats, and it's just too much of a hassle. I want a 2-coater. I want that kind of a jelly, transparent, natural nail, but it looks much better than the natural nail kind of look, which is what I was going for with this milky polish, and those are the kinds of colors that tend to work best for me in that regard. But this just was not even enough to to create that illusion of that nude beautiful nail without having to layer it a bunch. So Care to Dance is going to leave the stash because it just did not perform the way I wanted it to. This one is actually a surprise to me because I did not think I would keep this because it's kind of a weird color, it's like beige but gray, and those kind of colors don't usually work out for me, but there's a little bit of extra warmth to this one. So it turns out that I do like it. Surprising. If I was decluttering just based on color and it was like yes, no, and just picked out the ones that I like and decluttered the ones that I didn't, I would have not kept this. I would have decluttered it, which is telling me how important it is for me to just go ahead and wear the polishes before I make those decisions. This one is OPI nail lacquer in Did You Hear About Van Gogh? And this is a very interesting, pretty ugly color, I guess I would say. And it does look really nice against my skin tone, which I was super surprised about. It applies smoothly, wears beautifully, excellent formula, loved it. So definitely keeping it. So, guys, I would recommend that if you're doing a polish declutter, do it over a few months like myself and just wear them, actually wear each polish to see whether you like it or not, because sometimes like, oh, this one chips way too fast. and therefore I actually don't want to keep it because it doesn't last on me. And this one is not a color I expected to love, like this one for me, but it turned out I really enjoyed wearing it. Next one is one that I'm actually going to let go of. This is a bit surprising for me because those that are my kind of favorites in terms of coloring, these are great. These mousy, browny, concrete, but with the purpley undertone sort of shades, those are looking really, really good against my skin tone. Unfortunately, I have way too many of them, and I have another one over here that I actually kept. And out of the two, I'm decluttering this one, and this is Wet n Wild Mega Last Salon Nail Color in the color Wet Cement. This is actually a great polish, and I would totally recommend it. It's extremely affordable, which is always a big plus in my books. I actually found that I don't like, I like indie polishes, but I don't actually like luxury polishes because most of those polishes wear terribly on my nails for unknown reasons. My nails just reject luxury polishes. So this Wet n Wild Mega Last is a good formula, but I like their gel formula better. And this one is, although nice, and the brush is really, really easy to work with. It's a paddle brush, flat paddle brush, which is my preference. This is excellent, but because I have a few of those colors, I don't need all of them, and I do prefer OPI formula to this one. It wears a little bit longer on me, and I prefer ESSIE formula to this one. Again, it wears longer. So although I do enjoy this one, it just didn't stand a chance against the same color family in a better formula for me, at least for my nails. This is one that I love and will be absolutely keeping. This is another Wet n Wild, but this is in their gel formula. And this is my preferred formula from Wet n Wild, and it's called One Step Wonder Gel. It's in Stay Classy. This is a perfect find for me because I used up an entire bottle of Creme de la Kremlin by OPI, and that's one of my favorites, absolute favorites. And so I was looking for a dupe, and I found this one. This one is pretty close. Same color. The texture is not quite the same, but the color is very, very much a similar color. So this is going to be my replacement for Creme de la Kremlin, which is impossible to find nowadays. I would absolutely buy it again if I could get my hands on it, but I'm not like, I'm not paying triple on eBay for somebody's old polish. No thanks. I found myself an easy to find dupe, and this is going to be easy to replace if I need to. Plus the formula is pretty good. Not as good as the OPI, but really, really nice. This one is a holographic pink polish that I am actually going to ditch. It's Hologram Effect from LAYLA, and the color is 02 Coral Glam. It's nice. However, it's matte on application. It requires like 3 or 4 coats to be completely opaque. So I have no time for this and no patience. Therefore, because of the application, this beautiful polish is going to definitely be decluttered and go to somebody else, maybe someone who either layers their polishes or, you know, cares to have 3 to 4 coats going. This guy is going to be kept. It's very, very interesting because it's a black base with super apparent gold and holographic and almost green shimmers, and the shimmers are flakies, so I don't actually wear shimmer. I only wear flakies because they're removable. You can actually work with them fairly easily, and they tend to look prettier than the shimmer does on my nail, at least, and to my taste. This is KB Shimmer Black Pearl, and absolutely it is a keeper because it actually looks the same on the nail as it does in the bottle, which doesn't happen very much, and it's super, super pigmented, so you can definitely get it opaque very quickly. It wears fine. KB Shimmer is not the most long wearing polish on me, but it does wear fairly well, so I'm willing to reapply because the colors are just gorgeous. These two, this white and this beige, are actually absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy to have gotten my hands on them. I did not plan on buying these, but I'm very, very happy that I did. And these are Orly polishes. These are the only Orly polishes that I have. One is in Snow Worries and one is in Gilded Glow. Out of the two, I do like Gilded Glow a little bit more because it's a little bit of a finer silver beige flake. Looks fantastic on my nails. The And the Snow Worries one is a little bit more coarse, but it also flashes a little bit more on the nail as well. In general, these are gorgeous and I'm super happy to keep them. They were absolutely one of the highlights of this nail wheel. And they're classic looking and subtle enough to wear on an everyday basis if you do choose to do so. The next one is an unfortunate disappointment. I was really hoping that it would work out for me. This is Sunday's number 02, and this is this milky peachy pink, which I had high hopes for because I'm actually loving wearing milky peachy pinks. But again, same deal as with this OPI, the Care to Dance one that I described. I am looking for something that is kind of semi-sheer, and instead of being semi-sheer, this one has a white base. So it's actually quite a significant amount of white base with the pink and the peach. If it was semi-sheer, it would probably be one of my favorites. But because it does have this lots of this white pigment, it just didn't look as good. I just was not as fond of it, and it did not apply very evenly either. On top of that, that was not the best wear time. So although I really like the company, this particular polish was a bit of a flop for me, so that is going away. Another one that I'm not keeping is going to be this Zoya number, and it is in the color Stacy. This is a maroon, equal parts really dark red and really dark purple. Actually a really pretty polish, but I have quite a few of them, and for this particular color, this is one that I'm not going to pick over my Picture Polish Vampire. That is my very favorite color of this color family, and I will always reach for that. It is a very evenly applied jelly polish, and I went through an entire bottle of it, and I have my second bottle ready to go. So this Zoya stands no chance because I will always reach for my Vampire. They're very similar and in terms of the pigment, the actual color, but I like the texture of the other one much more. Although Zoya is nice and it wears well, I don't have a problem with it. Somebody will definitely love it, but my Vampire is just, I love it so much, and so much more than I love this Zoya. The next one is a bit of a weirdo. It's a pretty polish, and I'm not entirely sure how long I'm going to keep it around. This is my last Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs polishes don't wear well on my nails. They don't stay put. This particular one I'm keeping because of the color, because the color is just so pretty. I have a hard time getting rid of it. It's Marc Jacobs Petra. This is a gorgeous purpley gold color with very apparent yellow gold shimmers and some more silver shimmer. It's a nice color. It's my color. It's a grungy purple, so it's pretty lovely. I will probably hang on to it. I will wear it again and make sure that I love it. If I don't, I'm gonna let go of it during the next round of my polish declutter, but for now the color really saved it. I'm gonna keep it for now. Next we have another dark red, almost black red, and this one again is a luxury polish, and my nails do not hold on well to it. It's Le Vernis from Chanel in 18 Rouge Noir. Unfortunate. I'd love to have kept it. I want to love Chanel polishes, I just don't. I'm ditching basically all of them from my polish rack because it's just inferior in quality to me to the majority of the polishes that I have. So I would never reach for it because it doesn't wear well. The application's fine, the pigmentation's fine on this particular one, although with Chanel you do get those problems. Rouge Noir is the last one. Rouge Noir is hard to let go of because it's such an iconic color, but I'd rather again wear my Vampire over this, so I don't really need it. The next one I actually quite like, but I've decided that I probably won't reach for it over some of the others that I have already tested in my winter wheel. And this is really, really pretty. It's slightly gritty to the touch when applied, so it does require lots of top coat to smooth it out, and that's probably the reason, that's probably the reason why I'm not keeping it, because it was just slightly hard to remove. Anything that's very difficult to remove, no matter how pretty, is a goner. I just don't like fiddling around with polish remover. This is China Glaze Sand Hues very beautiful brown with a gold flash and a little bit of a sheen. It's almost maroon purple with a red flash. It's really interesting, pretty, a little bit difficult to remove, so it has to be decluttered. Another one that I'm not a fan of is this gray, and this is a Nailtastic Sweet Almonds powered by matcha. It's supposed to be, you know, nail caring sort of polish, something to condition the nails. I do like Nailtastic formula, and it does wear well, applies fine, wears okay on me. The problem is the color. It makes my hands look dead. It's quite unflattering on my skin tone, so it needs to go as well. The next three are actually keepers. Finally, we're hitting some that I'm not upset about. This one is another surprise polish, just like Did You Hear About Van Gogh was a surprise for me in terms of, you know, the kind of shade that it is. This is also a surprise for me because it's a bit of a poopy brown, but I really enjoyed how it looked on my hands. This is China Glaze Tan Dew Attitude, and this is sort of a chocolate milkshake color with a gold sheen and a little bit of a gold shimmer. So I was kind of impressed with it. I don't know why I like it. It's not a particularly appealing kind of color, but on my hands, I just really enjoyed it. It's kind of semi-sheer when you apply it in 1 to 2 coats, and that is what appeals to me because it applies very evenly and it gives that really pretty look in the hands. The hands just look better with that nail polish, which is why I'm keeping it. So again, a surprise. These two would have never made it. These two would have never made it if I was decluttering it not by wearing them, but just by looking at them and picking the ones that I think are, you know, not going to work. The next one is this ESSIE one. This is a favorite from a long time ago. This is Frock and Roll, and this is a new bottle. It's my second bottle of this polish. I've used up a whole bottle of it before. Therefore, of course, I'm going to like it. This is this blackened purple with a silver sheen, and the silver sheen is a little bit more pronounced than the bottle, and it recedes when you wear it on the actual nail. I don't know what it is about this color, but it just appeals to me. This is my black. It's not a black polish, but it's so close to being black that for me this is a good black polish that I enjoy and that wears well. The formula is a formula that I enjoy. Application is easy, very pigmented, 2-coater, almost a 1-coater. So yes, this ESSIE is perfect and I love wearing it. I don't love wearing black. I love wearing off black, which is one of those. And the last one is this, again, grayish, sort of taupe brown polish. And I was contemplating between picking one or the other, either the Wet n Wild or this ESSIE, but ESSIE does have a superior formula for my nails. They're very, very similar. And the ESSIE is also a new formula, which I haven't tried before. This is Street Love and Color Strengthener for normal to dry brittle nails. I'm assuming you just wear it without a base coat because it's supposed to treat your nails. How would it treat your nails if you were wearing a base coat? So I just apply it to my nail plate. It worked fairly well, considering especially the fact that you didn't have a base coat on, which is, you know, something that prolongs the wear of nail polish. This color is on the Mauve. This is a good taupey, purpley, gray, brown. I think this is a more perfect combo for me because this is a little bit cooler. The Wet n Wild one was a little bit warmer, and out of the two of them, I like the cooler, lighter one more than the warmer, darker one. It just looks better. So I'm going to keep that one. Let's count it up. What am I keeping? I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm keeping 9 polishes. Very happy with that. And let's see how many we're getting rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 polishes as well. So it's a 50-50 split. I'm getting rid of half of what I was trying out. And I'm very happy about it. I think it's working out great. And I will continue going forward. Next nail wheel that you will see from me is going to be a spring one. Here is a sneak peek. I already started. I have 2 polishes. One of them I'm wearing. And I'll tell you all about it once spring is done. And tell me, what are your favorite polishes for spring? I'm always curious to know. Do you have a staple that you always gravitate towards? That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day and good luck. Bye-bye.